Tell Me About It is brought to you by Extreme Health Club.
Trevent Hayes, KY Sports TV. Away from us today is James Brown, 104 The Score, but we are on Glasgow Electric Plant Board, Channel 6, the local channel on Tell Me About It, and we are joined today by senior Barren County Trojanette Katie Murphy and second baseman Mia Long, not to be mistaken with Nia Long. Had to give them a little history of who Nia Long was, but Katie, we'll start with you. I think Mia's probably going to be a little shy with us today. Coming back from your ACL injury, how do you feel your season has went due to your injury?
It's been great. I think in the beginning, just coming off of basketball, that was a way for me to kind of get into the groove of being back and being able to run and things. But softball's completely different. Running the bases is completely different. But each game, honestly, I was able to gain more confidence, and I feel like I'm honestly back to normal and the same like I used to be last year.
I haven't gotten to come and watch you guys play this year because I love softball. But last year I came to watch you guys play, and you hit a home run. I know this is terrible, but that's the only reason I go to softball games, just to see you young ladies hit home runs. But I have watched a couple of videos via Facebook, and you seem to be hitting the ball pretty good this year too.
Yeah, luckily I've been able to really hit the ball. I've kind of attacked the ball a bit harder, but I think confidence has been a big thing for me this year. I've not worried about everything. This is senior year. Like, you just got to let things go, but you got to be able to live in the moment, and this has probably been one of my better hitting seasons this year, and I've been kind of surprised due to my injury and everything, but I've just been able to kind of keep a cool, tone the whole season, not get too upset.
Because you're Katie Murphy. Mia, second baseman. How do you feel that your senior year has went so far?
I think it's been pretty good. I'm usually better in the field than hitting-wise, but I think I've been doing pretty good in the field, and I think I've been pulling through bunting this year a lot, and I've been able to get on base more and help.
How big of an art is it to slap bunt?
Well, I don't do it, but I think it's pretty hard. But
is that why you don't do it?
I'm probably not fast enough to do it.
Okay, so you have to be fast to be a slap bunter. Yeah. Okay, so do you think your season has the team season has went good so far this year?
Yeah, we've had a lot of adversity, and I think we've come back stronger, and we've worked better together, honestly, after some things that have happened. And I think we've done really well. I think it's kind of surprised us a little bit with our freshman pitcher, but I think she's really done well, and we've all been behind her back.
Okay. Have you lost to Glasgow ever?
Not that I can remember, but
I don't know if there's a time in
middle school.
Well, I'm talking high school.
No,
high school,
you haven't.
No.
Okay, so you guys will play Glasgow in the first round of the district. Okay. Who is the team that, saying that you guys do win and advance to the region? Who is? I think I've read that South Warren is probably the team to beat in the region.
Oh yeah, they're definitely stacked. They've got several players. They've got pitching that's just great. Their hitting is just really good. But honestly, I think we could go up against them at any time, and we've got that confidence. We're willing to put it all out there, and we played them earlier in the season, so we've definitely evolved since the last time we saw them. And if there's a chance to go and play them in the region, we'd be ready.
Be ready to go?
Yeah.
So you don't shy down to competition?
No, we go right at it.
Okay, so do you play any other sports, Mia?
I play volleyball.
Volleyball? So I know you guys graduate Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
Saturday.
Graduation's coming up. What are your plans after high school?
I'm not going to continue playing sports, but I'm going to go to WKU, and I'm going to be a high school math teacher.
Okay. So who will you be supporting while you're at WKU?
Louisville.
Oh, that was not the answer that I thought I was going to get. I was kind of referring to Katie.
I'm going to be supporting Katie.
Right.
But deep down, I got to support Louisville.
So we're going to go away from softball for just a minute. So you are a Louisville fan.
I am. My mom went to Louisville. My mom's whole side of the family is a Louisville fan. So
You know, I may have to come and watch you play Monday. Now that I've discovered that you're a Louisville fan, I may have to come and support you. Where's the district at Monday?
It's in Allen County.
It's at Allen County?
Yeah.
Okay. We do know that you are going to further your education as well as your softball career at Western Kentucky. How do you think that you're going to fit into the program down at WKU?
Well, I'm super excited. Like, whenever people talk about it, I get really excited. And the coaches, the players that I've played with before that are now playing there and getting to go on campus and be around them, it's been amazing. And it being 30 minutes away, that's amazing. But it seems like such a family-oriented kind of place, and they're all about kind of being together and Christian-based, and that's what I'm about. And they're just really great, and they're big supporters. They still speak to me and kind of tell me how good I'm doing, high school career, and so it's just really nice.
Okay. You know, I think I'm going to have to call my partner at KY Sports TV. I think I have an interview with you when you were maybe in like the 3rd or 4th grade with the Stars.
Oh my gosh.
I think that would be a good graduation present. Your dad's waiting for his interview. Do you think that'll be a good graduation gift, Daryl? I think I'm going to call
pull that
Tony.
video up
I'm going to call Tony today and pull that video up and share that for your graduation. Well, ladies, I know that you all have had a successful season so far. We at KY Sports TV, as well as the Glasgow Electric Plant Board, we want to wish you luck going into the district tournament. Thank you. We hope you ladies are successful in the district and make a good run at the region, and there'd be nothing sweeter than going to the state your senior year. All right, we want to thank you for coming on. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to the chief of the team, Daryl Murphy. We'll be right back.
Extreme Fitness has doubled in size, now with over 8,000 square feet of co-ed weights and an upgraded 90-degree saline therapy pool. The Extreme Fitness campus also holds the exclusive Extreme Fitness for Women complex and Extreme Blend smoothie bar. You have to experience the variety of classes to realize the impact they have on their clients. Personal training is with the best in the business and is available and tailored to fit individuals. So start your journey today at Extreme Fitness and Health Club.
Introducing the Glasgow EPB customer payment portal and mobile app. With our new sleek and user-friendly payment portal, managing your Glasgow EPB services has never been easier. And if you need to make a payment on the go, our new mobile app lets you pay your bills with just a few taps. The Glasgow EPB customer payment portal and mobile app, because managing your Glasgow EPB services should be as simple as flipping a switch. Visit glasgowepb.com/billpay today to sign up and download the app.
We're back here on Tell Me About It, and we are joined now with Coach Daryl Murphy, the Daryl Murphy. You know, I feel like we're friends now.
We have. We've done this about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we've done it a lot.
Yes, sir.
I showed Daryl a picture of my daughter, just checking out, the scenery. I shotguns, I think that's what they used to call it.
Sure, absolutely.
Coach Murphy, your team has been hit with some injuries about all season.
Yeah.
How do you feel you guys have competed due to the injuries?
Well, probably my 20 years of coaching, it's probably been the craziest year as it relates to injuries, and just nothing that, we do have Abby Elmore, who has had a PCL strain, and so she's been out and probably will not be able to participate this year, but just a lot of nicks and bruises, knees, and we've Maudie Forrester, another one of our seniors, who broke her thumb while we were down in Florida, played through that. Riley Reed, our other senior, has had some back issues and has played through that. So I think under the circumstances, there's a lot of adversity. Anytime you're dealing with injuries and trying to play through those, it's always limited in your game. But the girls have really, I think we've won 15 out of the last 16 since we came back from Florida and secured the #1 seed. And so they've really I think some of that adversity has kind of pulled them a little closer and focused them a little bit more so. And so they've really responded well to that situation.
And a lot of times it takes something, unfortunately, an injury or something not so tragic,
right,
but to bring bondage with the team, to get them to kind of pull together and rally for the troops. I know that this has probably been your most difficult season.
Sure.
But how hard of a season has this been due to your health issues?
Well, I'm not going to lie. There's some good days and there's some bad days health-wise, and there's been some games that I've been at that I've not really felt well, and it's just since my diagnosis of cancer in December the 12th, it's just been one of those learning experiences for me. So some days after treatments, I don't feel well. And some days just with the cancer itself, I don't feel well. But, the girls understand that. We had a conversation way back in December when that kind of rolled out, and I told them I didn't want it to be about me and the focus on me, that I would be at everything that I could be, and I have missed no games and missed very few practices. I've got some great assistant coaches that take the lead there, but there's been times that at games, we've had a couple of games where I've kind of taken responsibility that I wasn't all in with my physical and maybe my game plan preparedness because of my health. But, there's been more good days than bad days. And the girls have, I've got 4 great seniors. We had 2 on here today that have been playing for me since they were in middle school. And so they don't have to be coached up much. And so they take the leadership. And then, like I said, I got Riley Reed and Maudie Forster. Girls have played a lot of softball. So the younger girls respond. They're real close. You coach. And so sometimes your upperclassmen and your younger kids are not always close. But these girls, I got 20 girls on the varsity, and I got freshmen all the way up to those 4 seniors. And they're really close. And not just on the field, but off the field as well. And so that matters a whole lot. And so they understand the situation that we're in. And it's beyond our control a little bit, so we just, we try to fight the good fight every day, whether that be in practice or a game, and we just take it one day at a time. And so, like I said, it's been a limiting factor, but it's really not affected their play on the field. Like I said, when we came back from Florida, we kind of rebooted a little bit and have had great success since then.
So you kind of started to answer one of the next questions that I was going to ask you, but on those days that you don't feel 100%.
Right.
Who's kind of steps up to do your team, your day-to-day operations for you?
Well, a lot of those days have been in practice. So my coaches have been with me since day one. Stacy Sutherland and Lauren Bailey and Rex Rush are all folks that have been with me since day one. So they're there. And then I have 2 former players. I have Kendra McIntyre, who played for me when I was over at Cumberland County, was the head coach over there, and then Maddie Hagan, who played for me here at Barren County. So I'm fortunate to have 5 assistant coaches. And so we always have a game plan at practice. I'm a big believer in, not just showing up and saying, let's wing it here. Normally Coach Sutherland and Coach Bailey and Coach Rush are with me every day. And so there's been some practices that I've not even been able to attend. And there's been some practices where they've done the bulk of the work. So they've been with me a long time. You know how that is as a coach yourself. You're only as good as the people underneath you sometimes. And those folks have been invaluable to me throughout the year. And there's even times on away games that because I work and try to get some rest that I have to leave before the JV game's even over. And so they do a great job with that. JV's had a great season. They're 17-3. And I'm blessed to have those kind of folks under me, and we can kind of read each other's thoughts, and so they do a great job on those days that I just can't give 100%.
Well, that's good. And you mentioned you have 5 assistants. Mm-hmm. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah.
We only had 25 kids on our football team, but I had 9 assistants.
Sure.
And people say, why do you have so many assistants? But it's, as a head coach, it's just so important to me not to be delegated to do everything.
Sure.
And, and like you said, if you don't have a good supporting cast around you, you're not going to be very successful.
Exactly. And those individuals, we can, I'm sure like you guys do in football, we can break off into smaller groups. And obviously when you have 20 girls at practice, you don't want a whole lot of standing around. So we're able to do a lot of station stuff. And so very knowledgeable people there. I can turn things over to them and not even bat an eye, and say we're going to get some things done positively in practice. In game situations, they're all engaged. We chart all our games, and so everybody's got an assignment during the game. So, I couldn't imagine trying to do anything without those folks. They just do a phenomenal job for me.
Okay. Well, Coach, how How long do you foresee yourself staying in coaching?
What I have found out is since December the 12th, life is a new perspective for me. So when I was a younger man and a younger coach, I used to think about those things and how long. So what I can say is this: I enjoy coaching, man. I enjoy coaching at Barren County. We have been successful since we've been in Barren County. I've been there 9 years. We've attained the goal of going to the regional tournament 8 of those 9 years. We didn't get a chance the first year. But it's a great school. It's a great school system. We've had great success for so long. Allen County Scottsville kind of ruled this district, and we feel like we're in the mix now. And so we want to continue that. And what I'll say to that is we'll take it day by day. And you check back in with me after the regional tournament. Hopefully we're representing the 4th region in the state tournament. What I've always done as a coach is I always, after the season is over, I always reflect. I have conversation with my assistant coaches, my family. My wife has been a great supporter through all of this. She's a former coach and player herself, so she knows how that stuff works. And then I always reflect with my athletic director at Barren County. That was Bob Blair, and now that's Warren Cunningham, 2 great men there. And I just reflect because I don't want to make an emotional decision. Sometimes as coaches, when the season ends, you get kind of full of emotion a little bit. So I enjoy coaching, still able to. God has blessed me with the opportunity to continue to do that. We'll take that. June is always that pivotal month for me to see do I have the energy? Do I have the desire to want to be back? So this June will be just like it was when I was about 25 and first started this coaching career. I'll look at things and see where I'm at, see where my family's at. Obviously, my health will play into that decision as far as this year goes, but I feel good today. We got a game today, so if I feel like this, we'll kind of see how many more I got in me.
Keep moving. I just asked the question because I know
absolutely.
Softball doesn't affect you going to watch Corbin play football.
Sure.
But with Katie,
Right.
she's going to be at WKU next year, and you and your wife are every time I've seen either of your kids at any kind of tournament, you guys are there, and I just know that sometimes parents like to follow their kids.
Well, and that's important to us, whether you play or not. We've always said we're going to be there for our kiddos. And so Katie plays travel ball in the summer and in the fall. And so there's been times that I've been at Pikeville at the football game, and she's been in Colorado at a softball game. And so we just feel like that's important. And Texas El Paso is in the conference with USA with Western. So that's a pretty long road trip there. So that's another factor into all of the evaluation that goes on for me, and we'll just see how that goes. She's a pretty independent gal. She can take care of herself, but we've always felt an obligation to be there for our kids, whether it's travel basketball or baseball, softball, whatever it is. And I can honestly say she and I have never missed a game. We've had to divide and conquer a little bit, but we've never missed one of their opportunities, where it be a spring football game at Campbellsville or a fall softball game all the way out in California. One of us has been there for them. So that'll be another thing that goes into that equation of evaluation over the summer.
All right. Well, we definitely appreciate you coming on again.
Absolutely.
And good luck tonight against Russellville. As most of you know, this is a 2-part show so that we can fit everybody in to get a kind of a district preview. Good luck to you in the region. And when Tell Me About It returns, you'll see James Brown and Eric Alfonso.
Derek. Baseball coach in Barren County.
Aaron's yelling at me in the back. I don't really like that. But we're going to take a break, and when we return, James Brown will have the head coach with Barren County Trojans.
Extreme Fitness has doubled in size, now with over 8,000 square feet of co-ed weights and an upgraded 90-degree saline therapy pool. The Extreme Fitness campus also holds the exclusive Extreme Fitness for Women complex and Extreme Blend smoothie bar. You have to experience the variety of classes to realize the impact they have on their clients. Personal training is with the best in the business and is available and tailored to fit individuals. So start your journey today at Extreme Fitness and Health Club.
Hey, welcome back to Tell Me About It. I'm James Brown, 104thescore.com. We're doing our 15th District baseball and softball previews. That stuff swings into action starting on Monday at Allen County High School. I'm glad they're both at the same place. Makes life easy for me.
Yeah, it makes it easy, especially we played. I think the softball team plays at 5:30 on Monday. We play at 6, so
Okay.
a bunch of fans can kind of catch both games from up on top of that hill, I'm assuming.
Yeah. This is Barren County baseball coach Derek Alfonso, center fielder Sutton Hyde. Let's talk a little bit about your season. You've played a really tough schedule. John Butler on Monday made the comment that if you'd played a softer schedule, you might have 25, 26 wins.
Yeah, I heard that. And yeah, I mean, you know, we've set up here for the last 2 years, and I've said the same thing. You know, we always want to be challenged. I think it gets us ready for the postseason, which is coming upon us. But, you know, I always want to be challenged and play the best teams that we could possibly play, because I think it prepares us a lot more for being in those close games and those hotly contested contests, and you know, it prepares us to learn how to win and learn how to beat, you know, really good teams. A lot of years we're sitting up here and we're talking to you, and we're, you know, 11-15, 11-17 the last couple of years. It just so happens that, you know, this year we got a team that really competes at a high level, and we can beat anybody at any given time. I firmly believe that.
Well, and to that end, you had a senior day the other day. Tristan Meach was your
Yep.
senior player,
That's our
and Jacob
lone senior. Yep.
Delk was senior manager.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's it for
Yeah,
seniors.
that's it.
I mean, you've really, a couple of years ago, you really started leaning into these guys. I guess when Sutton and them were freshmen, you put them out there and made them play and compete in those games. So, I mean, that obviously contributed to those records you just mentioned.
Sure. And it wasn't like I was like coming in and saying, well, I'm just going to play all the freshmen. It was, you know, they were the top guys that we had at that point. So, you know, I've always told the guys when they come in, like, if just because you started last year, if there's an 8th grader that comes in as a freshman and he's better, he's going to play. I mean, that's kind of how I view it, and I'm going to put the best 9 guys out there, and sometimes that takes a little time to figure out. You know, we started out this year 2-6 because we were playing a lot of guys, a lot of different spots, and giving a lot of guys chances and seeing, you know, kind of where everybody fit in. And then, you know, once we got the starting lineup set after, you know, about spring break, a little bit after, you know, I think we're 13-3 since spring break. So, you know, once we got the lineup set, we really started to gel and compete at a high level.
Sutton, what do you think about that competitive nature of the team? I mean, that you know that you're never guaranteed to be on the field.
I like it because, I mean, as a player, like, you know, you always have to keep working, like, especially outside of practice, that, like, what really separates, like, who's, like, in what spot. So, like, yeah, I really like it.
Now, you've kind of held down the center field, though, for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, is that just nobody can challenge you there?
I mean, I don't think so, no. But, I don't know.
I mean, the funny part about Sutton, and I haven't really thrown this out there, you know, publicly a lot, but this guy's been playing for the last 2.5 weeks. I can say it now because he can throw. But for the last 2.5, 3 weeks, we've been playing with a center fielder that couldn't throw the ball from the outfield. I mean, he broke his pinky against Logan County, one of the losses that we had when we lost 10-9. Broke his pinky on his throwing hand, and so everything he's been doing offensively, he's been doing with his pinky up, and
like a sip of tea.
like a sip of tea, and defensively, you know, I kept him in center because he's you know, he's our best center fielder. He's probably, in my opinion, the best center fielder in the region, and him not being able to throw has probably cost us a few runs, you know, here and there. But the balls that he can track down and go get makes up for, and then obviously what he does offensively really makes up for anything we were losing, you know, in that regard. But now he just got cleared on Monday to throw again. So he threw at practice for the first time yesterday from the outfield. So I kind of knew that we were getting in that direction once we got to the postseason, that he'd be able to start throwing again. And that makes us a little bit even more dangerous because it's a guy in center field that you just can't run on.
Well, going back to what you were just talking about, his broken finger there, I think that showed up in the Glasgow game because there was a ball that was hit out there, and you just kind of tossed it back in. I mean, I think you guys ended up giving a run.
Yeah, we did, and we tried to work over the last couple of weeks, last month or so, on him just kind of flipping it to another outfielder or flipping it to his brother at shortstop and letting him throw some balls in. But there's been a couple times when he's gotten, you know, get burnt or something up against a wall, and he's turned around and tried to throw it to an outfielder. He's thrown it 10 feet over the outfielder's head. So now they're getting like triples inside the park home runs because, you know, we had a center fielder that just he couldn't throw the ball 25 feet. So we were just trying to do anything we could. But again, we played through that. We fought through that adversity, and you know, his mom called me. He was at the doctor. She said, "What do you think I should do? You know, is he still going to play?" I said, "I'd play him with one hand." So yeah, he'll play.
And did play him basically with one hand.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Sutton, I mean, what is it that you think sets your team apart? Not just that competitiveness within the team, but you guys seem to always find that extra play, that extra gear, especially in close games. I mean, you've played some really good teams this year, and top 4 or 5 that are in the top 25. So what about it, the Trojans, sets them apart, kind of gives them that competitive advantage?
Well, I feel like the schedule he puts us through, that puts us in like a lot of like high pressure like situations, and also like our depth. Like we have like guys that can come off the bench and like make plays for us.
Mm-hmm. So. Now you guys will open the district tournament against Allen County Scottsville. I would suspect they're going to pitch Stamper.
Yeah,
he seems to be the guy that keeps them in the game.
Yeah, and he kept him in the game against us. You know, he's a good little arm. He throws strikes. Got 3 different pitches that he could throw, and you know, we're really going to have to come out and be prepared for what we see. I mean, the good thing is we've seen him, so we kind of know a little bit of how to prepare for him, and we're going to try to do the best we can to prepare and you know, hopefully just go out there and fight. And you know, if we play our game and we play well, I think we'll be okay.
Well, and on your note of pitching, I mean, you have Tristan Meach, who's a left-handed pitcher. He's been really good, but he doesn't seem to quite make it. He maybe gets 5 1/3, 6 innings.
Yeah, but it's postseason time now, so we've been gradually working him up. You know, I think he went 6 2/3 against Glasgow, and then some of the other games, you know, down the stretch, just a little bit of maintenance. You know, he threw really well at Taylor County. But, you know, in the middle of the season, there's really no reason to throw him 105, 110 pitches.
Yeah.
But we talked yesterday, and you know, he's going to be good for the postseason run to, you know, to give us everything he's got for as long as he can. So we're hoping that the longevity will come now that we're in the postseason, and that's something we've been working towards this whole year. So
yeah. Well, I guess the only thing that's kind of derailed is having just stretches of not throwing strikes, which kind of gets his pitch count up a little bit.
Well, the other thing that gets his pitch count up is he strikes a lot of guys out. You know, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, he strikes out he's almost at 2 an inning. You know, so when you strike out that many guys, your pitch count's always going to be high. So if you throw in, I honestly, I don't think he's been a guy that's walked a ton. You know, last year I had to sit him for a little bit because he was having those control issues. This year hasn't really been that big of an issue. He just, when you walk 3 in 6 innings, but you strike out 10, then all of a sudden that pitch count's going to get high, and then everybody's going to look at it and go, well, if he wasn't walking, well, yeah, but if he wasn't striking out 10, then his pitch count wouldn't be high either. So he's kind of, his dominance with the strikeouts also plays a role in that pitch count getting
Gotcha. Well, and you kind of have a good problem because you have a Joey Myers who has gone 7 innings in a game and is a guy that can go that distance and has for the last couple of years been that guy. So, I mean, you kind of have an interesting choice that you have to make in that first game. But, you know, one guy's might strike out more people, and the other guy maybe still has been staying in the game.
And I've already made that choice, but we'll wait till Monday to throw that out there. I'm not gonna, you know, I don't like to tip my hand on anything really. So we'll wait till Monday. You can see the lineup and you know what's going on. So.
Well, but also behind that though, you have a couple of guys who have been really good closers for you too, with Skylar Potter and Gavin Coffey.
Well, here's the thing, Skylar, and I told Jay this before we went on the air the other day. Skylar's out for the season.
Okay.
So that, you know, that affects some of the things we wanted to do out of the bullpen. Obviously, it's a big loss for us. However, we've got a sophomore, Colton Wilson, who just pitched against Nelson County on Monday, and he's thrown 3 or 4 times in the last couple of weeks, and he's thrown really, really well. A little lefty, throws 3 or 4 pitches for strikes, and we feel like we can lean on him out of the bullpen a little bit. And also, JP Hyde has been throwing a lot more for us. I think he's going to be a guy that we're going to lean on as well out of the bullpen come tournament time. And then we got a few other guys that you know may get an inning here or there. But we're really going to lean on those 4: Tristan, Joey, JP, and Colton Wilson will really be the guys that we lean on the most coming into the postseason.
Well, and JP's your starting shortstop, so then I guess you have to make a few little changes on the infield.
Yeah, we've been working Jordan Harris, the freshman phenom, has played so well this year for us. We've worked him at shortstop a little bit, and he does well over there. So I don't think we're losing. JP, I think, is the best shortstop in the region, but we're not losing a ton with Jordan. Jordan does a really good job over there. He's going to make some plays. So, we think that what we give up at shortstop is something that we can handle with what we're going to get from him on the mound.
So when the game that's not yours, when you look at that Warren East and Glasgow matchup, and you've played obviously both of them this year, I don't know, Warren East last year looked like they kind of coached themselves into a bit of a pickle last year. And so, maybe they learned a lesson. So it'll be curious to see how that game goes too, as you guys line up to try to get to that championship.
Yeah, and I've heard that, I got a lot of people around that I talk to about things, and I've heard that the Barbolas kid, which I think was probably East's most dominant pitcher, the lefty, I think he's a sophomore, who pitched against us that second game when that was that real low scoring game that we beat them. I think he's out for the season, from what I'm hearing.
Really?
I think he had surgery on his shoulder. And then the Aiden Barrick, who is their leadoff guy and one of their better players I've worked with for years when he was younger, had a pulled hamstring when we played him. And then I think he came back, and from what I'm hearing, he might have pulled that again, which you never want to see a kid go out from injury, a lot just like Skylar Potter. But I think that's two big losses for them if those come to fruition. But it's going to be a good game. I think Glasgow can compete. If Glasgow plays well and East plays well, I think it'll be a really good game. If one of them plays bad, then it's just like anything in high school baseball. If one team plays bad, one team plays well, the game won't be that competitive. So we'll just have to see. I mean, I plan on being there and watching that game and seeing how it goes, seeing who they use on the mound, things like that, so we know who to prepare for and things like that. But it should be a very interesting game in that 2-3 game.
Yeah. Anything else you want folks to know before we get out of this segment?
No, just come out. We'd love for fans to come out and support these guys. These guys have played really well all year long, and I think that they deserve a lot of fanfare come district and hopefully a regional run.
All right.
Got anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. I'm James Brown here on Tell Me About It. This has been Derek Alfonso, Sutton Hyde. We'll be right back with Joey Myers and JP Hyde.
Introducing the Glasgow EPB Customer Payment Portal and Mobile App. With our new sleek and user-friendly payment portal, managing your Glasgow EPB services has never been easier. And if you need to make a payment on the go, our new mobile app lets you pay your bills with just a few taps. The Glasgow EPB Customer Payment Portal and Mobile App, because managing your Glasgow EPB services should be as simple as flipping a switch. Visit glasgowepb.com/billpay today to sign up and download the app.
Hey, this is James Brown back here on Tell Me About It, Glasgow EPB Channel 6 local channel. The show airs every Thursday night at 6 p.m. We recorded ahead of time, and today we're doing some district baseball/softball tournament preview stuff, and we have Barren County pitcher, first baseman. Those are the only two places you really play, right, Joey?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then shortstop, and now also pitcher JP Hyde, although I remember you did pitch some last year as well.
Yes, sir.
You come in and close some. I think you did it at a game over at Taylor County. I don't remember who Western Hills maybe is who you were playing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so Joey, last year you hit a walk-off home run. It was the first home run of your entire baseball career, as I recall in the post-game interview. When you think about that moment in your baseball career, is that something that kind of propelled you into the offseason to work harder at the game and that kind of thing?
I think so. I was at a bit of a downtime in my career, so that home run really picked me up and helped me to go through the offseason and come back.
We were talking in the previous segment about the tough schedule you guys play. What do you think about that schedule? Because that means as a pitcher, you get to see some really good hitters during the course of the season. I mean, how have you thought about that as each game goes along?
I love it. I love facing the best that they got.
Yeah. You a pretty competitive guy?
Very competitive, yes, sir.
I mean, because you're kind of low key. I mean, maybe people think, Joey, he's just a big old nice guy. Got a fascinating walk-up song.
Oh, yeah.
But, JP, we talked in that previous segment about the internal team competition that you're not guaranteed a spot. What do you think about that arrangement?
I mean, I think it's really good because it forces everyone on the team to really work hard and really focus and practice and just force each other to compete.
Yeah. Now, You got started when your freshman year. I guess you did too. You played first base during your freshman year as well, didn't you?
Third base, yes, sir.
Third base freshman year, okay. So you guys are always got these younger guys competing against you. I know there are a couple of freshmen that have played quite a bit this year as well. Do you guys try to help them out, give them advice on how to be good teammates, or you're like, no, we're just going to squash that?
Oh, yeah, we definitely do because, I mean, they're younger guys and they have the talent. They just got to get that confidence. And I think if we help them do that, then they'll succeed.
So what is your favorite thing about playing baseball, JP?
I would say probably the competition and just, like, honestly, just the game in general. Like, I love the game. So.
What about it that you love it?
I don't know, just like I've played it all my life. Just fun game.
Yeah. What about for you, Joey? What do you love about baseball?
I love the competition. Sport itself is, best sport in the world.
You don't find it boring?
Absolutely not. I can watch it all day, play it all day.
I think that takes a special kind of mindset because, a lot of people, it doesn't seem like there's a lot going on. But, I mean, if people are hitting the ball and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, if you're pitching, obviously,
Right.
It's never boring.
Right.
When you look at the district tournament, you guys are matched up with Allen County. JP, what do you think about that matchup?
I mean, we beat them pretty good the first game, but that second game, it was really close. And that Stamper kid, he's a really good pitcher, and we have to really focus and lock in that first game if we want to beat him.
Yeah. Now, what do you think about the matchup, Joey?
I think it's going to be good competition to start out, and then we'll keep going from there.
Yeah. You mentioned that second game. Maybe you guys, after you won the first game so easily, maybe you were a little relaxed in that second game?
Yeah, and Coach was kind of honest about that. He warned us before it, and we came out a little flat, and that's what happened. So.
Yeah. When you look back through the course of the season, JP, what's probably been your favorite game you guys have played this year? Win or lose, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, there's been a lot. I mean, Warren East, when Jackson hit that double down the right field line, that was a really clutch hit. And obviously Sutton's home run against Glasgow. Those are two great games. And Jax Vincent's walk-off against Bowling Green. So that was awesome. Or was it South Warren, yeah.
So what about you, Joey? What are some of the games that have stood out so far this season?
Probably the biggest one for me is South Warren, whenever I pitched against them. Definitely one of my best starts.
I know when you guys were playing Glasgow, I think you kept saying, "I don't want to come out." You were hoping to get the complete game.
Yes, sir.
Why were you so motivated to try to finish that game?
I know those guys. I've known them forever, and it's just what I want to do every single time I face Glasgow.
Yeah. Anything else you want folks to know about the season or the district tournament?
Just come out and support.
All right.
That's it.
Sounds good. Well, this has been Tell Me About It. I'm James Brown. We'll be back. Welcome back to Tell Me About It. I'm here, James Brown, Glasgow EPB Channel 6, local channel. We are talking to Glasgow baseball coach Cameron Garman. The 15th District Tournament swings into action next week. The Scotties play Warren East on Tuesday over at Allen County, Scottsville. I think the game time's at 6, is that right?
Right.
So, you guys you've closed out your regular season. Kind of a little bumpy ride here at the end, but before we even get to that, I wanted to ask you, this is your first year as a head coach. I think everybody on your staff is first year coaching at the varsity level.
Yeah.
What's this been like for you?
It's a lot of learning, I think, for everybody, learning for the kids, getting to know us getting to know them, which I kind of have known all the kids. This senior class, like I said, I would have had the chance to coach them in 8th grade when they were in 8th grade, but COVID happened. So I kind of got disconnected for them for a few years, but and I know a lot of kids through football, so it's been more so the other coaches really trying to get to know the players and build relationships and things like that. But I think regardless of how much you've coached, every year is something you learn new things, pick up on new things. So, but it's been fun. I've enjoyed it.
Has there been anything coaching at the high school level, at the varsity level, that you discovered that maybe didn't you consider before you got started?
It's more so just I coached middle school baseball, and I've been helping on the varsity high school staff, and I just feel a lot more pressure, I guess. Like your name's on it, your name's out there, and at the end of the day, you're responsible for the program and all those players and their performance, how they act, and at the end of the day, it's all on you. And like I said, I just felt a little bit more pressure than I thought I maybe would.
Yeah, maybe it was breezy to start with, and you're like, oh wait, the wins and losses add up, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, so you guys, you're upside down in the record, but I mean, you've played some pretty good teams through the season and played a number of them close. A number of games that I look at, you guys have been close, like for 5 or 6 innings with a good team, and then something happens in an inning, you might give up 5 or 6 runs. I mean, what has been kind of the thing trying to get your team to be more consistent throughout the game? What have you been trying to work on there?
Number one, I've been trying to preach just staying positive. You know, I mean, you could play as well as you possibly could and still get beat. It's just about staying positive and, you know, getting through the grind of baseball. One of my coaches, he looked up, he said we had the lead at some point in 20 of the 28 games at that point. Like I said, we've played some good teams. We've beaten some good teams, or we've been in there close with them. And I think it's just about sharpening some things up. It's been hard to get a lot of true practice time in because you're either playing, and if you're not playing, then because you're not playing, it's probably because of weather. Right. So then your field's too wet. Well, you can't even go out on the field and practice. So, you know, I'm very grateful for our indoor facility, but it's not, you know, ideal to run a full baseball practice where you can do a lot of stuff. It's more for BP and light bullpens, things like that. But that's what I want to try to get done these next few days is really get out on the field, get a lot of ground balls, fly balls, work some, you know, PFP type stuff, situational things that we haven't maybe handled well. And like I said, just try to sharpen, polish some things up moving forward.
Now, when you were coming up in the Glasgow program, you guys had the baseball field on the blacktop out there by the high school.
Yeah.
You ever think about going back to that? That seemed to be pretty good for learning how to catch some ground balls and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely might need to get that back going. I got to find a lot more baseballs before we start doing that. Yeah.
I still kind of marvel at that idea that you guys would be out there before when the field wasn't ready and you'd be out there on the blacktop.
Yeah, in 20, 30 degree weather. It was freezing.
Now, as you look at this district tournament coming up, you guys will face Warren East to start with. Yeah. They kind of put themselves in a pickle last year because they ended up not throwing their number one pitcher and ended up losing that championship game and going and getting beat at Russell County when they were favored. Yeah. I don't think they'll make that mistake again. So when you look at who you might face against Warren East on the mound, what are you looking at there?
I've been keeping up with them. Obviously, I kind of keep up with everybody in the region, just seeing how everybody's doing and looking at different guys. You know, I'm kind of new to all of it, so I just like to get to know the players on the other team, see who's performing well. And they've got, you know, 3 guys I think that are really, really good. We faced 2 of them, and I think there's another kid, a young sophomore kid that has thrown a lot for him. He's done really well. We haven't faced him, so maybe that's who they throw. Just to give us a different look, but who knows? I mean, we're going to be ready for them. We're doing a lot of situational stuff in BP, you know, a lot of oppo, 2-strike, you know, a lot of bunting, so hopefully we'll be ready.
So you made some adjustments, I guess, to your lineup, especially who was on the field, I suppose, this last couple of weeks, maybe, but it was more out of necessity than because you had some guys who were a little banged up? Yeah,
just a lot of soreness, really. It's pretty much all it was, just soreness, and then just getting some guys some different looks. Like I think Landon Martin was sophomore. He made his first varsity start in the field. He had pitched for us a little bit, and he's been a really good outfielder like in the JV game. So I just thought about giving him an opportunity in the varsity game and just kind of be in the lineup. And sometimes I do it just because I know who my next pitcher is going to be.
Yeah.
Like against Greene County the other night, you know, he was going to be my next guy, so I just went ahead and put him in left field so I could just bring him right in. That way he's kind of engaged, ready to go in the ball game. But yeah, I mean, I've been happy with everybody's, you know, efforts, opportunities that they've, you know, that I've given them. Everybody seems to be fine with the changes or where they're at, no complaining or anything like that.
Well, the pitching has been not necessarily the issue per se, but you've had a number of games where you've had to use a lot of different people. Yeah. Maybe you have a couple of pitchers, Mason Bass and Austin Parker, who are kind of your 1 and 1A there. But it seems like through the season you've had to experiment with a bunch of different guys. What are you looking at for the district? Are you looking for somebody to kind of come in there and take charge of that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll take a, you know, kind of a by committee approach. I think you can't let a team, get 3 or 4, or you can't let a pitcher try to get them through the lineup 3, 4, 5 times. The more they see them, they'll get used to them. So it might be 3, 4 guys, it might be 2 guys. Who knows? We'll kind of, it'll probably be a short leash. Don't want to, for damage control. But that's kind of how Davey Williams came onto the, the scene. He, we were just getting wore down early in the season, and finally Davey got an opportunity to get up on the mound, and he did really, really well against Central Hardin. Then came back the next week, did well against Greenwood. Next time, he just kept putting good performances together, good relief appearances, 3 or 4 innings at a time. He's still been solid. He's thrown pretty well against Warren East, Barren, Allen, these district games. So he might be a guy that, pops in there at any moment and gives us some good innings too.
Well, it looks like through the season, the hitting's not necessarily been an issue. It's been trying to keep enough guys from getting free bases against you.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, because you've had Zach Poore and you mentioned Davey Williams. I mean, those guys have certainly hit it. Weston Carroll's had a pretty good season too.
Yeah, Zach, Weston, obviously their numbers speak for themselves. And if you look at like the second half of the season, I think Davey's actually, his numbers really jumped up there. He got hot there, had good, hit 2 or 3 balls out of the ballpark, was doing really well. Even guys that have been in the lineup all year long, Ryland, Boone, some seniors, they've been hitting the ball hard, getting on base, finding ways to, scrap around. Very proud of them. So, like I said, just going to try to keep everything polished and see what we got.
Yeah, I guess this break between your final game of the regular season is going to be basically 7 days, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned getting in and working on some specific things, but I mean, how important is that break, you think, for your guys to kind of get turned around mentally and emotionally and get ready for the district tournament?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a different, every year is going to be different, but I think with us right now, I think a good little break will serve us just as, like I said, just to be able to get some practice time in and really focus on some different things and just to kind of rest up physically, mentally. A lot of seniors on the team, they've got a lot going on. We've been testing at school.
Right.
They've got senior activities. I mean, there's just a lot going on, and sometimes it's good to, know that you're not going to be out till 8:30, 9 o'clock, 3 or 4 times a week. I think it'll do some good for us.
Yeah. Anything else that you're looking at and getting ready for the district tournament you want folks to know?
No, just come out, support. Like I said, my biggest thing is just staying positive, That's what I'm trying to preach with our kids, our fans, everybody that's involved. Come out, support. I think we're gonna show up, and give our best, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Coach Garner.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. It's James Brown here on Tell Me About It. We'll see you again next week.